Hey guys, it's Starkin coming at you with another game of hardcore Minecraft. And if memory serves, I'm just here picking flowers? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. We came to this land in search of flowers, and we found them. There's a village here that we were visiting, not robbing, leaving mostly intact. Okay, so there was this one chest that had a diamond in it, and now it doesn't anymore. But that could have been anyone. But what we're going to do is just look for some more flowers and then head on home after a bit. And by that I meant, of course, raid this nether portal and then do the other things. And there's a lot of gold there. This isn't like the best nether portal I've ever seen, but it's a pretty good one in terms of stuff. I think I get an achievement for picking up crying obsidian, actually. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, or an advancement rather. Or rather, I'm not going to do that because I can't. We'll pick it up for a brief moment and then put it back down. Yeah, there we go. Who is cutting onions? I have no idea what crying obsidian does. But there's no reason to let it, like, disappear completely. We'll carry it with us. The Heart of the Sea I've got a couple of, and I don't actually think I need them for anything here. So we're just going to toss the bed down for the night rather than fight monsters, because my goal in this video is just to hang out a little bit. And, you know, gather flowers. My last few videos I've been feeling a lot like, okay, I need to go and do something I haven't done. But I wonder, like, where is that coming from, right? Like, where was the desire in me to feel like I had to progress in this Minecraft world? Because it wasn't me feeling bored. Like, was it... I think it may have been me feeling afraid of losing the world and just thinking, you know, I don't want to build here. I don't want to build because I'm afraid that it's all going to be taken from me, right? So if I just keep on trying to do stuff and get in adventures and maybe like act sort of carelessly, then I can, you know, insulate myself against that risk. Which is, well, really that only immediately occurs to me because that is the sort of thing that I do. And I'm curious as to how much of that was, you know, showing up in my Minecraft play. Just a little bit of unasked for psychological analysis. Because, well, I mean, there's another side of it too, you know, like how much of what I do in Minecraft is self-directed anymore, and how much is for my my beloved viewers, few in number though you are. You know, you are real people. You exist. I'm not saying that to like talk you up or to talk me up. Just like, you know, when I made my first 5 Minecraft videos, I had no expectation that anybody was going to come across them. But now, like, to my great happiness, I have, like, regular viewers. And that, you know, so how much of what I do now is in me wanting you guys to stay interested. Like, how... And this is something that I struggle with, like, all the time in life. And certainly not like confined to YouTube. Like how do I tell the truth, right? Like how do I present myself to others in a way that's genuine, where I'm not trying to make them like me, where I'm not presenting myself in a way that's inauthentic, or because I because I just don't know, right? Like as probably comes across in these videos, I'm not like what most people would call a totally normal person. I often, when I introduce myself, I say to people helpfully, most people don't like me. That way, people don't feel any pressure to to like me. You know, you want to let people know that they don't have to feel embarrassed if they have a negative opinion of you, because it's reasonable, right? And but I do remember where I was going with this. I haven't lost my train of thought. I just swayed from it from a moment. But I think I'm insulated. I think from being inauthentic and giving other people what they want in a way, because I'm such a mutant and a jerk. Like even if I was trying to manipulate you guys into paying attention, I would lose track of that goal, right? Like I wouldn't be able to focus on it for long enough for it to be believable. I think it would just come across as rather strained, as the many times in my life where I have tried to pretend to be someone that I wasn't. I mean, it didn't go great. Some people are like really good at pretending. I do not think that I'm one of those people. Only if the rules are very clear and the penalties are unpleasant can I ever like behave how other people want me to. Normally I just like stay away from others, and that makes everything better. I don't mean to sound like too bleak. I don't have like a hugely difficult time because due to my childhood I'm very good at lying to people if I think it's necessary. But I don't like to do it if I like people or if I know them well. Like, I'm only comfortable lying to strangers. Like, I'm so good at ordering coffee or, like, being polite to a person in the grocery store because there, like, my training is to be highly artificial, and that doesn't come across in my own mind as being disingenuous because being polite to strangers is a virtue, right? In a way that being polite to people that I care about is not interpreted by me as being virtuous, although it should. If you're still listening after this much of me talking about myself, that's surprising. Although I guess it is mostly what I do here, is just play Minecraft and talk about myself and my feelings. And, well, even if it's not good for you, it means a lot to me to be able to do this because, well, frankly, I'm too embarrassed to talk about the way that I feel to people unless I'm playing a video game at the same time. I've touched on this several times through the videos, but like it's interesting how the way that we desire things, and not in any coarse sort of way, but in like the broad existence desire Buddhism kind of way, the way that we desire things like goes through us, and we can't be independent of it. And my desire for, like, you know, people to want to pay attention to me is, I mean, it's very human, but at the same time, like, it's a source of amusement to me because I don't do it right. Like, I feel like a robot trying to get people to pretend that he's a person, but everybody can tell that they're made out of metal. And maybe, you know, like maybe it's a nice robot and you really like the robot and the robot has a fine metallic mustache. But whenever it goes on about like how it's really a person, you think, come on, man, we like you for being a robot. You don't have to like be delusional about what you are because we aren't. And that's how I think about myself. I'm just glad that there are plenty of people who don't mind that I'm kind of like a robot. But like an ill-tempered one, right? Anytime I read like a sci-fi book or like watch a show or a media where there's like a robot, like in Hitchhiker's Guide, where they're like sad or angry, but like also like 100% definitely a robot. And I love characters like that. I identify heavily with them. But what I want to do now is just go and plant some flowers. I want to find a really good spot for it. Normally I would do it like in front of my house, but of course here we've got like a cool treehouse sort of thing going on. Because I have this whole Robert Frost poem that I thought I was going to do in my other world, but I think we'll do it here. No, we'll probably do it in the Survivor world. It makes more sense there. We'll be able to do it after a fantastic wheat field video. Speaking of, I think we're due for another one of those soon. I want that to be my trademark. That's going to be my please pay attention to me video. Is every month I'll make one where my wheat field is a little bigger until everybody on the internet that is ever going to pay attention to me does. I'm only kidding a little bit. Look, I don't think anyone would plant as much wheat as I have unless they have like something deep within them that's strange and twisted, and I don't believe it's my want for attention. I think the size of my survival wheat field speaks to something much deeper than all of that, whatever it may be. Because, well, I think my love of straight lines and uniformity and efficiency, and also in like hilarious subversions of that. Speaking of, is this the most insane wheat or oak tree I've ever seen? I think it is. All right. So is this all from one sapling? Okay, so it would have generated right here at the base of it would have been like the tall morph of the tree, and then it generated a branch there and here, but maybe, yeah, so this form would have been in the way of it, so it generated even taller, and then it didn't realize what was going on, so it did it. Anyway, this is maybe the tallest single oak tree I've ever seen. Pretty fun. But rather than planting any flowers, I think we're just going to lay down here for the night. And when we wake up, more of the same. Because, of course, before you can plant flowers, it is necessary to cut down trees. Should I just do a little meadow here? No, it should be a bigger one. But I should cut down these trees. Little by little, the world falls into the shape that I have planned for it. But this is my favorite way to play Minecraft. And as I was touched on at the beginning of the video, before I got into like what I can only describe as a boring level of personal psychoanalysis that absolutely nobody asked for, is that the more advanced I get in a world, the more I feel like I can't do the simple things that made me love it in the first place. And I know this is not unique to me. I see it in comments a lot, and like talking with people in real life about Minecraft, I hear it too, which is just that, you know, the more you know about a thing, the less easy it is to take the simple pleasure of it, you know. People want to chase improvement. They want to get further than they've gotten before. It takes a peculiar person to want to hike the same mountain over and over and over if it's not particularly challenging, right? People crave variety. Not everybody's like me, where they want to make the same chocolate chip cookie recipe 150 times And even after they think it's perfect, to just keep on cracking on it because they're happy with it. A lot of people want more. But if you're not a person who wants more, and you're okay with the same thing over and over, then that's probably why you're here. To witness me wanting the same thing over and over, and then getting distracted from that goal, and then sort of getting back onto it again. I always want to be happy with what I have. Even that word happy is sort of like doing a lot of work in that sentence, because what I mean is that I want to be free of desire for more than what I have. Happiness is not like really one of my goals. I don't want to get too deep into it, but it's not a thing that motivates me, because I don't think that it's a thing that I have access to in the same way that other people do. And while that has caused me considerable consternation in the past, I don't let it really get to me too much nowadays. But that whenever I talk about being happy, what I mean is like a contentment with my existence, rather than like what most people would mean when they say the word. Just a note on definitions, very important, to make sure everybody's working with the same definitions. But it's hard. It's hard to feel like you're happy with what you have, because people are hardwired to desire improvement. It's so hard to wake up with something and say, this is enough for me, I don't need more. And that's really what I try for. Although I quite like new things like everybody else does. And, well, if you've ever paused on my F3 screen, you know that this computer's like really sick. But in between periods of buying myself cool stuff, I try to be reasonable and happy with what I have. And I've already done the happiness explanation, I'm not going to re-emphasize it. But the way that relates to Minecraft, which is, after all, the subject of the discussion, is, well, I hear it all the time. This is where I was going before I got derailed, but I never lost track of it. People, they wish they could play like I do, which I find, it's sort of like a brilliant artist coming up to a child and being like, hey, I wish I could finger paint like you. But what I want to say is that you can play like me. It's just, it's hard to remember what we loved about life as a child. And a lot of people played Minecraft as kids. And it's really, really difficult to not lose sight of that which motivates us as we age. There's a lot more stresses for various reasons. There's, just like straight up problems that children ought to be insulated from that adults can't be. And then also there's the boredom that exposure gives. Like, after 1,000 hours, how much fun do you have, farming up some potatoes again? How much fun are you going to have planting cherry trees or clearing a little bit of land to put flowers down? Because if the answer's not a lot, then you're probably not going to do that stuff anymore. And that's okay, because you shouldn't be forcing yourself to do things that you don't enjoy. Life's short. But if we're lucky, we have time to do a lot of the things that make us feel complete, that make us feel like life is beautiful. We're just going to do a nice little spread here, a little band of tulips. We'll probably do an orange one on the other side. Not of the... No, we'll do red here and then orange on the other side of the white. I think that'll be a nice contrast. And then we can do a sort of non-tulip. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. Wonderful. We'll just do red over here. No, we'll do a transition of the azure bleuet. I assume it's French. Oh yeah, then we get into that wildflower patch. Beautiful. Perfection. Marvelous. In red tulips, we can just do sort of here. So what I'm saying is, you can play Minecraft the way that you did, but can you ever really go back? I used to play so many video games whenever I was a child, and I don't often try to go and play them again. Some of them don't hold up great. Some of them do, but I get wistful whenever I go back and play, like, Mega Man 2. Like, first of all, why am I so bad? Why was little kid me, like, a brilliant and cunning tactician, and why is modern me terrible at Mega Man? But secondarily, like, why don't I feel the way that I used to? Because I know I did. But, you know, I'm planting this field of flowers, and I'm having a great time. But I don't know if y'all know this, I've never done this before. I've never planted just like a whole bunch of flowers in different rows. I don't know if I love the contrast here. We really should have a white band in between this and the roses. Or just like not these at all. I don't know if I love these shades of purple. We'll work on it. And we can do like a band of dandelions on the cliff. There where the wind blew them. And a couple lilies of the valley. Well, they should certainly not be up on the ridge. That would be contrary to their name. It's, I feel like I keep on talking about the nostalgia thing, but, you know, I get to use Minecraft as, like, this way of learning and, like, focusing my thoughts. It's quite meditative for me. But I only started playing it, you know, in June of this year, of 2024. So it can do a whole lot of new work for me that anybody with a long-time familiarity it couldn't do. If you were to pick up Mega Man 2 and you had never played it before, first of all, do that. Mega Man 2 is amazing. Play it. I should play it. You know, I haven't played Mega Man 2 for longer than 5 minutes in a long time. Maybe I should record me just getting absolutely trucked by it. I did try to play up to Cutman and then just like do so bad, but it's interesting that for all of the times in life that people say I wish I could do this, they don't do it, you know. Not to get all Citizen Kane about it, but really, yeah, it's just Citizen Kane. And there's a reason that that movie makes very little sense to young people unless they're told how to react to it. But the older you get, the more sense it all makes. I mean, you wouldn't have to explain to like a person into film, a young person, like why it's so good. But the wistfulness of the old is a thing that, even if understood intellectually, is, not at all accessible to the young. I thought I knew what was going on whenever I was a child, but you don't really know sadness until you get older, no matter how bad it is. Oh man, I'm getting bleak now. My life wasn't terribly happy when I was a child. It's not terribly happy now, but it's a lot better for me, I would say. So whenever I think about Minecraft, I'll be able to think of it as like this thing I did as an adult where I was trying to process through my life, like what does it mean to be me? And that is what childhood is, but it can't be done like intellectually. Children can't get outside of their own minds enough to figure out that that's what they're trying to do. Even if they say it out loud, they're just pretending. No, that's not being fair. Everyone moves at their own pace. And I certainly shouldn't be applying my own life lessons as universal ones, given that I am so very strange. We've started a howl. Can I shoot in the third person? They should give me an achievement for this. Elite. Oh yeah, so good. And as I say that, well, at least I avoided taking any damage. But, so, what I wanted to say before I got sidetracked so many times by, like playing the game and planting flowers and talking about myself is, and some people have already said that they've done this, just what I would love is for you to pick up the game again and try to forget some of what you've learned. Whenever I like pick up Pokemon, for example, I'm a Gen 1 guy, which you probably knew without me saying, but it's so much fun if you just try to not apply the lessons that you have learned. Although that sounds kind of silly, like you can't not know how things work, but just pretend a little bit. If you normally have like a way that you start out the game, everybody talks about building your iron farm, just, don't do that. Pretend you don't know how that works. If you have like really, really efficient ways of getting through the game, like maybe pretend that doesn't work. I'm not saying act like you don't know how crafting tables work or anything, and I'm not saying give yourself an artificial challenge, but maybe just load into a world and explore a little bit. Instead of doing anything, just go and see. Farm a little bit of stuff, cut down a tree, build a little canal, find a village, make friends with an animal, and just try to let yourself have access to what you lost. Because the game's still here, and you're still here, and that is all that you need in order to synthesize the experience in Minecraft that you're looking for. You've got a human nervous system. It's a gift. It is the best thing you could ever have, because like Well, if you were a robot, you wouldn't be able to play Minecraft. A tool-assisted playthrough of the game is never going to make you feel happy. I mean, watching one or building one might, but someone happening somewhere that you don't witness won't. So, just load in, farm a pumpkin, hit a melon, make a spyglass. Do silly stuff, hop around, die of fall damage. Don't do that. And maybe it won't be fun. But you don't have to do it. If you're not having fun, do something that makes you have fun. But I wanted to encourage you, if you needed the encouragement, to try that. If I kill a skeleton from very far away, I think you get an achievement. I don't know if this is far enough away, though. There's not anything vertically blocking it. I'll need to go a little higher. A little lefter. Alright, no. I'm not going to be able to make it there because that tree actually does block it. I don't think this is going to be far enough to get the achievement, but we'll see if it's not. Alright, higher still. Alright, here we go. Now he shifted. That should drop it on him. No, he got into the water now. Alright, there we go. Sniper duel. I got it. In conclusion, it is far enough for the achievement. Advancement. I knew it was one because I cheated and looked on the screen. Free fall from the top of the world to the bottom of the world and survive. I don't like that. I mean, we could put water down, but it still seems sketchy. We could build a bullseye and shoot at it in the next video. But anyway, I treasure all the comments that I get, unless they're, you know, mean or troubling in some way. But some of the comments that have made me the happiest by far are people saying, hey, I was watching your videos and that made me want to play again. You know, like I hadn't played in years, or I didn't normally, you know, play in normal without mods, or I've been playing in this style and I just gave it a try. Or someone the other day started up a hardcore world, and like that's so awesome. Like I love the thought that that I'm inspiring people to play a game. I mean, not like they wouldn't have played Minecraft without my intervention. Obviously, no one's going to have learned about Minecraft because of me. But there's a gurgling sound. I thought there was a drowned about, but you know, if I had let them stay underwater for very long, they probably would have turned that way. But like as I was saying, I love the idea that like I'm inspiring people to do something that brings them satisfaction. Like super cool. Really, really enjoy that idea. And now we finally return home. I should have come here earlier. I can't believe I did all of that planting without coming to see Garuda. Here's your seed, buddy. I'm so sorry. Make more melons, toss in more diamonds. We've got 10 diamonds now. I'm so rich. Just like an absolute embarrassment of the riches. And because I know that my my filing system for materials is so scuffed, I can just like randomly go and right click or rather shift click in places and be pretty certain that I'll find an item in there to complete the stack with, which is both very funny and sort of embarrassing. But I think that'll do it for this video. When we return, I'll probably do a little bit more of the same because I'm not tired of talking about myself. But thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and just wanted to say thank you so much. I hope I'll see you in the next one. If you wanna watch it, it'll exist. So there's that. And I should have had something else to say. Oh, right. This meditation from Marcus Aurelius. I wanted to share it. It's 447. It was one that I had alluded to the other day, but I don't know if I'd read it out directly. So here's where it goes, and it's sort of like this is the one that I think of a lot when I'm playing hardcore. The Meditation of Marcus Aurelius, 447, translated by Hayes. Suppose that a god announced that you were going to die tomorrow or the day after. Unless you were a complete coward, you wouldn't kick up a fuss about which day it was. What difference could it make? Now recognize that the difference between years from now and tomorrow is just as small. So, if I've read that before, well, I like it. And if I haven't, that's the one that I talk about when I talk about the hardcore dream and how frightening it can be to try and live it. But thank you so much for making it through all of this. When we return, we'll go further over there. Oh yeah, look at all the flowers. Magnificent. We might go on another flower expedition one of these days and look for new biomes. That was, of course, what I was supposed to be doing whenever I just like stopped and got a bunch of flowers. But that will do it for this. And I really hope you've enjoyed.